A warm welcome from Stadium 29 here in Bangkok, Thailand. We have our matchup for today. It's the Mono Vampire Basketball Club, bound for the playoffs, going up against the Westports Malaysia Dragons in a rematch of their duel last week. It's Mono Vampire going to the playoffs with his 10-14 record. Westports Malaysia, of course, left with plenty to ponder heading into next season. My name is Adolf Tupas, working alongside Coach Kevin Yerkes. And Coach, what happened here with Mono Vampire? They are literally back from the dead.
They're on a 5-game winning streak, won their last 5 games, and they're playing great basketball. I think everybody in the league knew that this team was too talented to have a subpar record like they had earlier in the year, and it's shown. They've got 7 Americans on their team. They added Romeo Travis. He's been the piece to glue all these guys together, and they're on a run, and they're a team that nobody wants to play right now.
And Mono Vampire, of course, with a 5-game winning streak. And Westports Malaysia Dragons, that game last weekend, by the way, proved crucial because that ended their hopes of making the next round.
It did. And, I know we're looking at the Dragons being 7-17, but really give a lot of credit to the Dragons. They had underwhelming expectations at the beginning of the year. They had a lot of challenges they were facing, but despite not making the playoffs, I think they've had quite a good rebuilding season.
So, Westports Malaysia trying to salvage some pride here as they take on Mono Vampire. They have our starting lineups.
And the first player, number 1, Winston Shepard. Number 4, Shang Wei-er. Number 6, Benjamin Sim. Number 10, Jonathan Wong. Number 13, Shin Cheng-hwa. Number 20, Lo Shi-fai. Number 25, Tan Wei-long. Number 26, Ling Xuan-yek. Number 30, Shin Ji-shin. Number 32, Nana Ekwa. And number 33, Chris Eversley. Head coach, Mr. Jamie Berman. And now, introducing for Mono Vampire Basketball Club.
Oh, and a chase down blocked.
First, number 1, Malcolm White. Number 77, Shichai Ananti. Number 7, Michael Secretary. Number 20, Tawachai Suktap. Number 36, Sorat Sunton Siri. Number 0, Tyler Lam. Number 33, Nopon Sangtong. Number 79, Chittapon Toweroy. Number 38, Anat Puangla. Number 11, Morset Morgan. Number 22, Frederick Jones. And number 13, Chanashon Glahan. Head coach, Mr. Mati Dagras. And clap your hand for Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Woo!
We have the lineups on the floor. Mono Vampire without Romeo Travis. Mike Singletary also not 100%. Coach Doug Marty indicating that he might rest Mike Singletary as well. But Romeo Travis not suiting up for today. This is a pretty banged up team considering what they have gone through in the past few months, that trying to catch up with the rest of the league.
No question, partner. They've been fighting for their playoff lives this entire second half of the season. And, they're a veteran team. Mike Singletary, Romeo Travis, these are veteran guys. They've had to work really hard for this playoff push. And these last 2 games in the final week are essentially meaningless. So rest your guys and get them ready for the playoffs.
And this was the win last Sunday. It's Mike Singletary finishing with 20 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. Shi Failo was also critical for Westports Malaysia, but not enough once again for the Dragons as they fall short. And this was the game that they needed to win to make this game a knockout game.
Yeah, they took all the drama out of it by Mono pulling that game out in the final seconds. And, you know, give credit to both teams. You know, this Mono team is very talented. You know, everyone around the league recognizes it. But the Malaysia Dragons all year long kept fighting. I mean, in a lot of games, they knew they were undermanned. They've taken on the identity of their coach. You know, Coach Jamie Perlman, a real positive guy. He's got these guys playing hard. And, you know, I give him a lot of credit for finishing strong.
Well, Winston Shepherd was a bright spot against Mono Vampire. He finished with a triple-double, 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 11 assists. Wow, that is a rare feat, a 20-20 triple-double.
Yeah, from your point guard especially. But, you know, Winston Shepherd's a unique player. He's 6'8", he's long, he's lanky, and when he gets going downhill into the paint, he's nearly impossible to stop. When he starts shooting those outside shots, then you've got a little bit better chance to contain him, but nevertheless, great job getting that triple-double.
Well, Moses Morgan caught fire in that game as well. He finished with 14 points, but seems to be the forgotten man here for Mono Vampire, especially with Tyler Lamb in the lineup and Mike Singletary doing his thing. They would need a lot from Moses Morgan going forward.
Yeah, you know, this is something I've been watching very closely. You know, I know Moses Morgan well. He's a veteran in the ABL. He's got a lot of ABL games under his belt. He struggled with his offense most of the season, but these last few games, he's slowly getting it going. 14 points last game, double digits the previous 2. He could be a real factor coming off the bench for Mono Vampire.
And of course, Tyler Lamb, another mid-season pickup for Mono Vampire. He was once again on point against the Dragons. And Tyler Lamb, of course, very versatile. Probably their best wing defender and also their top outside shooter.
Well, you know, he's 6'5". He's won an ABL championship. He creates matchup problems on both ends. His ability is near import level, and he's just a tough matchup for other teams.
Well, Chris Eversley and Mike Singletary will be our marquee matchup. Our starting lineups right here: Westports Malaysia with Winston Shepherd, Benjamin Sim, Yang Chuan Yek, Nanwa Egu, and of course the other coach, Jamie Perlman. As you've said, you know him very well.
Yeah, I thought Jamie Perlman has had a very good rookie season. You know, it takes a while to figure out the league. You know, Jamie hasn't coached in this region. He hasn't been around. You know, he came in green, and I think he's done an outstanding job of creating a culture in Malaysia. And this team has a lot to build on heading into next year. I know the Malaysian fans are disappointed for not making the playoffs, but they should be really proud of the way they fought all year and the future ahead.
And what about that guy, Doug Marty, for Mono Vampire? He was under pressure, under the gun early in the season after losing probably their first 3 or 4 games, and then just the slump that they can't seem to overcome.
Well, Coach Doug is a cool customer. He is one of the best gentlemen we have in our league and in our game here. You know, no pressure. He would never let you know that there's anything going wrong with his team or any pressure. He handles it well, always has a smile on his face, and I think that's why his team plays loose. I feel like they felt all along that they were going to make a playoff run, and sure enough, here they are.
Ball is up, and we are underway. It's Mono Vampire against the Westports Malaysia Dragons here.
And this is a good chance for both teams to play some of their local players. You see Chichai Ananti with that first possession there. You also see Napakon Sengtong in the starting lineup for Mono Vampire.
Mono Vampire get the stop as prayer is answered. The shot clock was winding down. Sim with an air ball.
Yeah, Benjamin Sim had to force that up with only 1 on the shot clock, and Both teams come out with a defensive stop. With these kind of games, we call these mop-up games to close out the season. It could be a little sluggish for extensive parts of the game, and we might see some of that here today.
Malcolm White trying to get going early. That doesn't work. Way long time with the rebound.
And let's see what the Dragons do here on offense. Mono is primarily a man-to-man team. They're their second to last game. And see if they try to do some different stuff and allow some guys to do different things.
Lamb with the steal on Egwu. Stops and pops, and that drops for Tyler Lamb.
Tyler Lamb gets moving forward on his shot without any defensive resistance. He's pretty automatic. He's been doing that for a lot of years in the ABL, with the Hong Kong Eastern, with Bangkok City High Tech, and now he's doing it with Mono Vampire.
That's a turnover. Egwu on the kick out. Stepped on the line.
Yeah, Nana Egwu, I thought he's had an excellent rookie season. He's an ultimate team player. He does a lot of things that nobody else likes to do. Set screens, walls up around the rim, plays good defense, rebounds. He's a real good teammate. The coaches like him. The organization likes him. And, you'll see him continuing to fight today.
Egwu forcing that miss on Malcolm White. Shepard, Eversley, that is a 3-ball. That's good.
Good shot by Chris Eversley. Nice play there by Winston Shepard. Eversley has been the import face of this franchise for the last couple of seasons, and he plays with a lot of pride, and you'll see no quitting him, that's for sure.
Sing Tong. Ball will stay with Mono Vampire.
Yeah, early on you see both teams kind of walking through the motions here. And it's tough when you get to this point in the season to motivate your guys, 6 months after training and playing, and with not a lot on the line to play for. So we'll see how the energy levels maintain here throughout the game.
Eversley, Sim, go down low to Egwu against Malcolm White. White standing his ground. Egwu with the hook shot.
That's a good shot, and actually good defense by White. You see a little chest bump there, right? No foul. I like to see the officials let that kind of play go between bigs and the low post, but good play by both players.
Anante uses the shot fake, the kick out. Pass a bit weak. Tyler Lamb recovers, he'll drive, and Sim with the tap. That is off Tyler Lamb.
And that's something, that kind of play there with a big swipe by Benjamin Sim. We've seen that play all year long called a foul. And not only is it not called a foul, but it's a turnover going the other way for the Malaysian Dragons.
Shepard against Tyler Lamb. Eversley takes the 3. That is short this time. Anante with a rebound.
Eversley's got a mismatch. He's got Sangtong guarding him. So they're going to run that pin down screen for him and try to get him open on the wing. And, he had a good look there, just left it a little bit wide.
Yek Liang Chuan with a foul. Bumping knees with Tyler Lamb there. Sim is replaced. Chang Wei Er is in the ball game for the Dragons. Freddie Leash.
So these two imports are going to go at each other in the low post.
Sang Tong with a rebound. Anante. The drive goes baseline. There is a foul on Chang.
Well, Chiche Anante is no secret in the ABL, and he is a volume scorer. He's athletic, he's long, and he likes to get to the rim, and he draws a lot of fouls. And you see there, he took it to the rim strong, took the bump, and almost got the and one, and a chance for him to get on the board with a couple of free throws.
Coach Doug Marty talking to Freddie Leash right here. Talk about the dynamic now with Mono Vampire, especially, of course, Brickman was there. Jason Brickman was there for quite some time, and he was really the lead playmakers. Mike Singletary and Romeo Travis, the imports, and all of a sudden he only had one playmaker in Freddie Leash, and a lot of that responsibility fell on him as they made this playoff push.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, Mike Singletary is a well-rounded playmaker as well, but you know, once Brickman departed from the Mono Vampire, you know, there was a lot of pressure on Freddie Lish. Adding Tyler Lamb took some of that pressure off of Freddie. But, you know, overall I look at this Mono Vampire team, and there's been a lot of pressure on these guys all year. But today we've seen something that we haven't seen. There's a lot of calmness among the team. You see guys looking like the weight is no longer on their shoulders. I see guys smiling. I see Coach Doug Marty, you know, looking a little bit lighter. Because it's been an uphill climb to make the playoffs this year, and you know, there are high expectations for this team. So,
yeah, especially after finishing second last season, losing in the finals to San Miguel a la Pilipina, especially in the Game 5 release. That's the second 3-ball for Mono Vampire. They take the lead 8-7.
Mono Vampire has the luxury of having these three guys, these three Americans who count as locals. Freddie Lish, Tyler Lamb, and of course Moses Morgan. All three guys played Division I basketball back in the States. And here they are finding themselves as locals in the ABL. What a real advantage for Mono Vampire.
The Dragons answer right back with Chang's 3-ball.
Nice corner three there to give the Dragons a regain the 2-point lead.
Malcolm White is struggling against Egwu. Trying to feed the big man. Taken away by Malcolm White.
Poor pass there by Shepard. Had a bad angle and he threw a lazy pass.
Tyler Lamb straight away. Quick trigger.
You can't leave him that open. You know, Tyler Lamb, if you get an inch, he's going to knock down shots. You got to get a hand in his face and make it tough for him.
Eversley. Kick out to Egwu. 3-ball is short. Nobody there to pick up the rebound for Mono Vampire. Eversley misses the dunk.
Yeah, he got a chance to lay it up there. I didn't think he was going to try to dunk it, but I know he wanted to show us what kind of hops he has, and just came up a little short on that one.
White is free. Mid-range jumper, no good. Sang Tong saving it to Lamb. Goes to the other side, Freddie Lish. 3-ball is good, and Mono Vampire catching fire early.
Now you see the three imports. Well, I should say Malcolm White and Freddie Lish and Tyler Lamb. You know, playing loose and free, taking shots, and as they start to, you know, get used to get ready for playoffs.
Couldn't. You are watching the Asean Basketball League Season 9 Rise to Greatness. Some early stats for you. 4 of 5 from beyond the arc from Mono Vampire. The Dragons not so bad as well. 2 of 4. But it's Mono Vampire on top. 14-10. 4 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the first period.
Speaking of shooting, Lo Shifai into the game. The Dragons, I think Shifai's had an outstanding year for the Dragons. He's been the one guy that's been able to consistently knock down shots.
And Shang evading the defense, that high arcing off the glass layup.
Yeah, that's a solid move by Shang there. You know, in traffic with the top Euro step to get the easy finish.
Tyler Lamb, that's a good 3 feet from beyond the arc. Missing that time.
Yeah, so we talked about this. We mentioned this before the break. The likely first-round matchup, the Formosa Dreamers against Mono Vampire.
You know what, Coach? Thinking about that matchup, I'm already excited. You know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, let's just say, there's no easy matchup in the league this year. I mean, everybody is good. We look at the Warwick Spencer, the addition of him to the Macau Black Bears,
Absolutely.
replacing the MVP and Anthony Tucker. But what a dynamic addition. And nobody wants to play the Macau Black Bears right now the way that McKinney's playing and the way that Spencer's shooting the ball. You know, Saigon Heat played really well in their last game
and
against
the locals
Singapore.
have stepped up for Macau as well.
They've got a formula there. And, you know, Singapore's capable of beating anybody. Saigon Heat played well in their last game. You know, these teams, you know, 1 through 8, I mean, there's no easy matchup. But when we talk about this matchup between the Dreamers and Mono Vampire, I mean, it's not going to be easy. And it's not going to be a sweep. You know, there's going to be 3 tough games between these teams. And you see Freddie Lish knock down, I believe, his second three.
Yeah, second 3, both him and... no, that is a third, actually. Sorry, 9 points.
9 points. Tyler Lamb to go along with a couple threes, and
all of a sudden found himself free there. He was trying to fake that handoff to Moses Morgan is now in the ball game. And Coach Doug Marty, you see his face like, how did he find himself that open?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that here early on. Lamb and Lish both open.
Malcolm White still looking for his first basket. Could not get past Egwood. That is a turnover for Malaysia. Malcolm White.
Chin's got to run to the rim on that. He stopped, and that's why it was thrown over his head.
And Morgan missing on the 3 ball.
You know, these games, we talk about the last week of the season. You know, both teams have, in essence, nothing to play for. But, you know, Coach Perlman and Coach Doug Marty, these guys are former players and professional coaches, and sometimes they can use these games to help the numbers of their imports. Obviously, they want to win, they want to play well, keep their system, but, you know, imports are measured by their numbers. You know, their next jobs are contingent on what their numbers look like. So you know, these coaches will try to encourage their imports to be more aggressive so they finish the season strong.
But as we were talking, Coach Kevin, is Tyler Lamb hitting his 3rd 3, and Mono Vampire with 6 makes in his first period.
Yeah, 3 by Lish and 3 by Lamb. The former high-tech Bangkok City high-tech teammates now playing for Mono Vampire.
Morgan knocks down the mid-range jumper.
And this just looks like shooting practice right now for Mono Vampire. All these guys getting open looks.
Shepard. They kick out. They go down low to Egwu against Malcolm White. A drop pass. Nice one inside.
Yeah, Chin did a good job there of getting in the restricted area and making himself big and using the rim to protect himself against the shot blocker. And nice play there by Shifai and Chin.
White again missing.
But he's not shy. When he gets the ball in the low post, he's looking to score. He's an aggressive big man.
Chin, Egwu is open. And a defensive mix-up there from Mono Vampire.
Yeah, White got a little bit outside the lane, and he didn't rotate once the ball went high, and it left Egwu wide open underneath the basket for an easy one.
Ready Lish. Goes to Morgan. And Lish taking it away and putting it in to beat the first quarter buzzer. Freddie Lish. First player in double digits, 11 points. As Mono Vampire takes a 3-point lead at the end of 1. Second quarter action here at the Stadium 29 in Nonthaburi, Thailand. It's Mono Vampire with a 3-point lead over the visiting Westports Malaysia Dragons. And Mono Vampire shooting the lights out in that first period. 6 of 10 from beyond the arc.
That's a pretty good percentage when you can make 6 out of 10, but only a 3-point lead.
And Malcolm White 0 for 8, 0 for 9 from Malcolm White. Lamb gets it to Morgan, wide open 3, too strong.
Yeah, Malcolm White getting good looks, just unable to convert. But, you know, as well as Mono Vampire shot the ball, only have a 3-point lead heading into the second quarter. But, you know, you can see here both teams, they're just going through the motions and, you know, kind of playing this game out because it's a part of the schedule. But, you know, we should see some high shot making and some quality shots. So let's see if the shots continue to fall.
Mono Vampire have the basketball right now. Siri is in the ball game. Lamb misses the 3.
Yeah, so Siri is a good defensive guard. He's now a veteran player. You know, can really move his feet and frustrate opposing point guards.
Baseline jumper that won't work.
Chin's had some good minutes, you know, coming into the game. He had a nice couple of basket, you know, points near the basket. We got a good steal here by the Dragons. And a layup to cut the lead, the Mono Vampire lead, from 24 to 23 now.
Just a single point now separating the two teams. It's Yek Liang Chuan with a fast break layup.
Yeah, and Yek is another one of the local players for the Malaysia Dragons who I thought has had a really nice year. In fact, you know, a lot of credit. You know, people look at the record of the Malaysia Dragons, but they don't, you know, see the full story. Now, they came in having to put together a team of local players when they had expectations of having different local players. And these guys have come in, really the only leadership they had, veteran leadership, was from Loshi Phi. And you got guys like Yek, Jonathan Wong, Benjamin Sim, these guys all coming in with, you know, no ABL experience. And we've watched these guys grow over the season. And it tells me that the Dragons have really built the foundation for years to come with the development of their local players this season.
Absolutely, and we'll see next season for sure. It'll be so much better as Malcolm White. Oh, goes down there.
Well, that wasn't one that White was going to miss.
It's 1 of 10 now. She with a 3 ball. It's off to the left.
White looks like he might have rolled an ankle there or tweaked it. He's going to get a breather now. And after he goes 0 for 9 and then gets his 10th one to fall, he gets rewarded with coming out of the game.
Some concern here for Coach Doug Marty.
Yeah, you got to be careful, you know, in this situation, right? As we get a good anticipation by Tyler Lamb.
He'll throw it down, Tyler Lamb. 11 points as well.
And just an unforced error there by the Dragons. As, you know, Chin wasn't looking for the ball, and
those are the types of mistakes, you know, that really you can actually, you know, change with maturity, with more playing time, with more game experience.
You know, we've seen a lot of those type of plays from the Dragons this year, and it's not an effort. It's not a system thing. It's just players not having experience, not being comfortable in their roles. It's all about, you know, learning to get to that next level of playing ABL basketball. And, you know, you're going to start to see it from these guys here next year and the year after. You know, I believe that the Dragons, with this nucleus, you know, they're building a foundation. They bring in some other imports, some guys that, you know, that can be more ball dominant, score when they need to. And I think this team's got a bright future.
29 to 25. Tyler Lamb continues his scoring there.
That's an easy shot. Coming off that elevator screen. You know, all he needs is just a couple of inches of separation, and he can knock down shots with that 6'5" frame.
Eversley. 3-pointer is short.
And Eversley says, why can't I get those, right? Tyler Lamb gets them, why can't I?
Tyler Lamb cooking.
It's just target practice right now for him. He's definitely in the zone with 17 first half points for the Mono Vampire.
That's almost half of the output of Mono Vampire. Eversley on the drive. Good defense there by Klahan. They're looking for Lamb now. Saint Tong on the drive.
A good move by Sangtong. He had some shooters open, but he uses that big body to get the finish at the rim.
The Mono Vampire erupting here in the second period. They have outscored the Dragons 13-4, leading to this timeout. Mono Vampire with a 37-25 lead. The biggest lead of the ball game, and that is cut to 10.
Yeah, and that's a good play out of the timeout, and that's Tan Wei Long getting the put back there to cut the lead down to 10 as the Dragons continue to fight.
Saint Tong again with a reverse. Sultan Suri. Morgan too strong on the three.
Yeah, you can use these kind of games to continue Moses Morgan's hot shooting that we've seen in these last few games. And I expect him to stay aggressive here and continue to shoot the three.
Shepard going to the other side. Nice move there.
Yeah, that's Tan again. Nice move. Tan Wai Long.
Using that ball fake.
Back-to-back buckets for Tan. That's an excellent shot. And faked out the Mono Vampire defense.
Morgan goes to Saint Tong. Sultan Suri goes baseline. Klahan cutting down the middle, but quick hands here by the Dragons. Eversley.
Yeah, that's got to be a bounce pass there by Sorot. You can't throw a straight line chest high pass in the middle of traffic. The ball's got to be bounced in there below the defense. Their hands are usually going to be high, and it's just an error there by Sorot.
Good hands by Moses Morgan as well. Gu in and out on that free throw line jumper. And Tyler Lamb hasn't taken a breather here.
Yeah, well, why would you when you've got 5 3-pointers and we say ride the hot hand.
Lamb once again.
6 3-pointers. What Coach Doug Marty might do is he might play Lamb extended minutes this game. He might give him the next game off. So you better tell Lamb, get his while you can.
Egu scores inside. But the Dragons helpless at the moment as Tyler Lamb has found his range. 6 of 9 from beyond the arc. 20 points for Tyler Lamb as Mono Vampire has a 9-point lead with 4:10 remaining in the first half. Mono Vampire fought for its playoff live as early as in the middle of the season. But what about the luxury that Coach Doug Marty has with all the weapons on his lineup? Tyler Lamb, Mike Singletary is not even playing.
That's the understatement of the night, partner. The weapons that Mono Vampire has. I mean, they've got a lot of guys that can beat you. You know, imports, heritage players that count as locals, and even the local players. You know, a lot of these guys can really play. They can shoot. You got veteran national team guys. You know, veteran ABL guys. You know, they're a dangerous team come playoff time.
Toa Roach just entered the ballgame missing on that one.
Man, there's another guy, Toro Roach, who's been known as a guy who can knock down shots as well. And, you know, they got a lot of guys out there that can score. Yeah, but one thing you see here that the Dragons are doing that's smart, the Mono Vampires had some really hot three-point shooting, particularly by Tyler Lamb, as we've seen. But, look, the Dragons are only down 7. No Malcolm White. So they're throwing the ball inside. They're going to make Mono Vampire try to defend inside the restricted area.
Three-pointer from the corner won't work. There's a loose ball foul.
Yeah, that shot was a little bit rushed. I'll say that nicely. After they had all the last couple of possessions, advantages at the rim, that quick inbound off the glass three is probably a shot that Coach Perlman didn't want.
Roach. Nice Lamb. Nice cut by Klahan. 3 players against him, but he scores.
The veteran Klahan feels 2 guys in there. Fakes right shoulder, turns left shoulder, gets the easy 3-foot jump hook, and gets on the board with his first 2 points.
Go to Egu again. Shepard. Nice cut by Tan. That's a turnover.
That's a nice possession there by the Dragons of sending cutters to the basket. Tan had a good look. They got their hands in there to knock it off him. It could have gone either way, but nevertheless, it's a turnover going the other way.
Shepard hasn't been looking to score here. He's been trying to find his teammates. Lish for 3. Picking up from where he left off in that first period. That is a 4th 3 for Freddie Lish.
Yeah, 6 for Lamb and 4 for Lish. That's 30 points on 3-pointers from the 2 local players.
Toa Roach getting the steal, but the turnover as well, as Lish couldn't get on that pass.
I think Toro Roach thought he was throwing that to Tyler Lamb and didn't realize that that's Freddie Lish, who's about 7-8 inches shorter. So the ball will stay with the Dragons, and they'll continue to try to go down low to Nana Egwu.
Shepard for 3. That is good.
And I look at Winston Shepard, and he's very talented. You know, there's no question his elusiveness and his ability to get to the rim are extremely valuable for him. But I think in the offseason, he's going to have to spend some time working on his jump shot. If he can get a shot where he can stretch the defense, it makes him even that much more of a weapon.
You want to go down low to Egwu as Toa Roach has joined the 3-point party for Mono Vampire. When they're firing on all cylinders, they can be really, really hard to stop.
Personally, I love that style of play. 90 shots a game, 35 to 40 3-point attempts.
Up tempo.
Make it a track meet. Make it a lot of offense, a lot of shots. Sometimes make it a sloppy game. You know, players like to play like that. They like to shoot threes. They like the freedom to be able to take shots, and helps guys build chemistry and confidence.
Chin airballs that jumper. Eversley with the steal.
Yeah, what you don't want to see is you don't want the game to get sloppy. You know, you want the players to play hard, play with pride, try to win the game, continue to execute and make plays.
Shepard. Same song coming out. Shepard passing at the final moment. Eversley step back 3. Too strong. Freddie Lish comes away with the basketball.
Yeah, crafty rebound there by Lish. He felt the bigger ton on him, but he
what about Tyler Lamb is a man possessed. 23 big points in the first half. What a time for him to catch fire with Singletary and Romeo Travis out right now.
Yeah, you know what we're going to have to do here, partner? We're going to have to check the league record for most three-pointers in a game. Or, you know, that's something we'll have to research at halftime. With Tyler Lamb with 7 first-half three-pointers, you know, he hits another 1 or 2. You know, we're gonna have to start tracking that. Maybe that's something we'll keep an eye on in the second half.
Jaros closer. Wild shot. Shepard gets it back. Shepard on the move. Lamb with the rebound.
Yeah, Shepard got to the rim, but he didn't lay it up. He kind of pushed it up, and it went off the back iron. And you can see he's a little frustrated with that shot attempt.
Freddie Lish. 11-second differential game clock and shot clock. 15-point lead for Mono Vampire. Lish! Oh! Switching hands in midair. Freddie Lish.
These two guys, Lish and Lamb, they're having their way against the Vampire defense. Against the Dragons defense. Lamb with 23 points and Lish with 16. They both collectively outscored the Dragons between the two of them.
What a half for Mono Vampire. Coach Doug Marty is a happy man as he goes to the locker room. Mono Vampire with a commanding 17-point lead against Westports Malaysia Dragons. Tyler Lamb with a big first half, 23 points. We'll be right back.
What makes a champion? Passion, grit, determination.
A challenge can make or break you. Work hard in silence. Let success be your noise.
Never stop, you can only get better. The only one that can hold you back is yourself.
I'm a warrior. I put my war paint on.
We are the composers of our own destiny. Nothing is out of reach if we dare to dream the impossible. Believe the unbelievable and never take no for an answer. Because greatness is in all of us. For we are all champions.
The second to the last week before the end of the eliminations, and while we know all the playoff teams, we don't know who's gonna finish at number 1 in the ABL top 10. Let's find out right now. Starting us off at number 10 is this nifty pass from Dang Quat Tran over to D'Angelo Hamilton in the home of the BTN CLS Knights. Court vision from Tran, able to find the world import who lumbered to the rim. That's number 10. Number 9, we stay with the Heat as Corey Celia from beyond the arc to beat the buzzer. What a shot! And that would help give Saigon an 8-point lead heading into the half, where they would eventually overcome the Singapore Slingers. Big shot from the local as he shows off the range to knock down the triple. That's at number 9. At number 8, the newest face of the Macau Black Bears, DeWarrick Spencer, announcing, signifying, telling everyone that he's here and he's ready to roll with the Black Bears. Check this out once again as Spencer from way beyond half court, the range, splashing it at number 8. Number 7, it's Ryan Watkins, the Spencer, the Watkins once again. How many times have you seen a double alley-oop in the ABL? Well, now you've seen it with your own 2 eyes as the world imports hooking up and making mincemeat of the Wolf Warriors. Number 6, we go to the Formosa Dreamers, who have been red hot all season long, and it's defense like that from Malcolm Miller helping the Dreamers take away the number 1 seed from San Miguel Alam, Pilipinas. At number 5, D'Angelo Hamilton not only scoring but also protecting the rim. Check out the denial on John Fields III, and then one more time for good measure, this time on the X-Man. Look at the defense from D'Angelo Hamilton. That's your number 5. Number 4, Jaron Young. Does this shot look familiar? It could be from the good doctor. Talking about Dr. J, as Jaron Young able to get all the way to the rim with the reverse. Number 3, we go to one of the most creative scorers in the ABL. Mike McKinney jab stepping and fading away all the way to number 3. What a shot there from the red hot world import of the Black Bears. And number 2, in one of the most thrilling games of the season, the Knights had to complete the comeback within double-digit deficit, and they were able to do that courtesy of Wong Wei Long, the triple, and then on transition, the BTN CLS Knights would find the former MVP. And Wong would give the Knights the lead once again after being down by double digits with a minute remaining in the game. One of the greatest comebacks in the ABL this season, Wong Wei Long splashing his way to number 2. And the best part of that game was the final shot of the BTN CLS Knights, as Douglas Herring getting all the way to the rim, finishing with the contact, finding a way using all types of English to finish over the Saigon Heat and finish at number 1 in your ABL Top 10 Plays of the Week. It is the second to the last week.
What makes a champion? Passion, grit, determination.
A challenge can make or break you. Work hard in silence. Let success be your noise.
Never stop, you can only get better. The only one that can hold you back is yourself.
I'm a warrior.
We are the composers of our own destiny. Nothing is out of reach if we dare to dream the impossible. Believe the unbelievable and never take no for an answer. Because greatness is in all of us. For we are all champions.
We're back at the Stadium 29 here in Nonthaburi, Thailand, where Mono Vampire is leading by 17 points against Westports Malaysia Dragons. It's ABL Season 9, Rise to Greatness. And speaking of rising to greatness, Tyler Lamb, 23 big points in that first half, Coach Kevin.
Well, this game has turned into the Tyler Lamb watch. Not only did he have 23 first half points, but 7 3-pointers. And luckily at halftime, we were able to find out the ABL record for most threes in a game. And it's 10 by Matthew Wright. 10 3-pointers in a game is the ABL record. And Tyler Lamb sitting on 7 with still another half to play. So he's got a legitimate chance to get the ABL record if he stays hot like he was in the first half.
Well, Tyler Lamb was on fire. Hit 3 in the first period. Malcolm White is back in the ball game. Kicks it out to Lamb. 3-ball. No good.
That one was a little far out, but some other people have heard me say that that's a deep shot, and they remind me that it's Tyler Lamb shooting, that no shot is too deep for him.
Agu trying to get it to Eversley.
And you see what the Dragons are trying to do. They're trying to go down low, find that mismatch. That Sangtong is guarding Eversley, so they throw it down low, but Sangtong does a good job of getting his hands on the ball.
Very active on the defensive end. Shepard to the rack as he scores, cutting the lead to 15. So Tyler Lamb at 7 3-pointers. He shot 11. Lamb on the back door. Oh, he misses.
Well, that's because he shot a 2-pointer, right? I mean, he's got 7 threes. Why would he want to get a layup? We might have to send one of our people down to let the Mono Vampire know that 10 is the record.
I think Singletary was
he's just getting the 3-point sign, right?
Yeah. Shepard missing another gimme. Oh. Lamb. Spin move. Eversley with a steal.
Yeah, there's Tyler Lamb again in uncharted waters in the paint. Instead of being on the 3-point line.
Yek for 3. He knocks that one down.
Yeah, good shot by Yek. You know, this this young man's had a really fine season for the Dragons. He, you know, in essence, come out of nowhere, and he's knocked down threes, especially the second half of the season, and he's got a bright future for the Dragons.
Lish getting the pick from White. Ananti from the corner. That's good.
And when Ananti gets an open look, he knows what to do with it. That's what he's done his whole career. Is he's a scorer. Gets the ball in the corner, and that's his shot, the corner three.
The denial there by Malcolm White on Egu, but Shepard gets away and he throws it down.
Yeah, excellent patience there by the Dragons. Good job there by Shepard, finishing again at the rim. And you know, I like this second half fight here that I see from the Dragons coming out here, you know, not rolling over and really looking to try to make this a game.
That bounces off of the foot of Shepard. 9 seconds remaining in the shot clock.
Yeah, I wonder if the Mono Vampire, I mean, they know that Tyler Lamb's hot, but you know, I wonder if they know how hot he is, or, you know, or what's at stake.
Lamb, another two-pointer. That doesn't drop. Lamb for three. No good. 7 of 12 now for Tyler Lamb. Eversley. Blocked by Lish. Sim down low to Eversley. And that, again, that play showing us some sort of inexperience. If you take a look at this swipe from Freddie Lish.
Excellent block, and then Lish being a veteran player, you know, a younger player would go for the swipe there. Lish sees that he's out of position. He pulls his hand back, and he gets him on the second swipe. That's just a very smart move there by Lish.
Going back to that turnover by Sim. Again, inexperience showing there. You know, other players would usually make the right decision going up to take the shot because really that was in traffic.
Yeah, you know, it's tough. It's tough when you're a player that attacks the ball to the rim and you're not a finisher around the rim. And you know, Sim got caught with too many guys there at the rim, and he panicked and ended up turning the ball over.
And in contrast, Yek has been knocking down shots from the perimeter. That is his 5th point here in the second half.
Yeah, Yek and Lo Shifai all season long have really done an excellent job of knocking down shots.
Kick it out to Ananti. He improvises in midair. That will work. Eversley gets it to Shepard. And he will lay it in as the Dragons finding their groove early here in the third, forcing Coach Doug Marty to sue for time. It's down to a 9-point lead for Mono Vampire. Tyler Lamb with 23 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. He's got 7 3-pointers so far, but he's missed his first 2 here in the second half.
And the Dragons have come out playing hard, getting stops, getting easy buckets going the other way, and now they find themselves back in the game, only down 9 with a little under 6.5 left in the third quarter. Plenty of time.
Lish on the drive, the kick out to Ananti from the corner. That is good.
Good look off there. He looked at Lamb, caught the defense reacting just slightly to give him the proper space to be able to knock down that corner three. His second corner three here this half.
Taken away by Lamb. White running down the floor, and he throws it down.
Yeah, that's an excellent play. You know, this is one when we're watching film. This is a coaching point. Lamb does a great job of not over-penetrating there in transition. He drives to the three-point line. It makes the defense rotate, and it allows White to get an easy rim run, rather than Lamb forcing it inside the three-point line and creating poor spacing on the transition. Excellent job by Lamb, and a good job of White by running to the rim.
Great point there, Coach Kevin, as Ananti getting it in the corner and trying to find White. And that is a turnover for Mono Vampire.
Yeah, sometimes Ananti, when he gets going, he can't contain himself. He gets up in the air and he's going so fast. He's oh, what do I do with it? So he throws kind of a straight line hook pass.
Shepard! Oh, wow. Winston Shepard. Get out of my way.
I'll say, with authority. Usually you see Winston Shepard lay that up. You don't see him hammer a lot, and that's a nice play there by Shepard.
Tyler Lamb. This time trying to get his rhythm back. Moving closer. Got 25 so far.
Maybe that two-pointer will get him going here. He missed his first 4 shots of the second half, and now he's on the board here in the third quarter.
Yoshi-Fai finds himself free. Short on the 3 ball. That is off the foot.
The last time the Dragons were here, they were able to get the victory here at Mono 29, and Yoshi-Fai was instrumental in that victory. I believe he knocked down 4 3-pointers. And, they tell me he really likes to shoot in this shim. Everybody likes to shoot in this shim. This has got a good floor, good rims, and a good bounce to it.
Brady Lish getting to the teeth of the defense and finding Sangtong.
Good job by Lish of splitting the guys in the front there, making the defense rotate and dropping it off with an easy finish by Sangtong.
Egu, easy too, right there.
Nana Egu is a really nice player. He's not going to get you 35 or 40 a game. That's not who he is, but he does. We talked about this earlier. There's so many little things to help his team, and if he has to, he can get you points. We've seen him knock down threes, get finishes around the rim. He's just a player that does a little bit of everything.
Almost a turnover there. Lish from the parking lot. No good. Sangtong trying to keep it alive. Tan has it. Shepard on the move. The Dragons throw the ball away once again.
Yeah, there's no point to dribble in that situation. You're kind of stuck in the teeth of the defense. You got to pass it out and utilize the spacing.
And Nante, good line on the 3, but he misses. Shepard, crossover, the kick out. Egu for 3. Too strong. Shepard gets it back, and he will lay it in.
Shepard gets going downhill. He's really tough because of his length and his ability to finish above the rim. And we saw the hammer play earlier, and Shepard's having a nice third quarter here trying to keep his team in the ball game.
Lish trying to go behind the back. Malcolm White not happy there.
You see Coach Doug Marty there like hustling for that corner 3 back in his playing days. An opportunity. He wants to get a part of that 3-point party.
Well, this 3-point party is now actually 14 of 29.
Yeah, well, it was that's still an outstanding percentage. It's just it's been a non-alcoholic party here in the third quarter.
Malcolm White going to work, trying to catch up with his numbers.
Yeah, he came out of that first half after what appeared to be an ankle injury, and looks like he's moving okay here in the second half, which is a good sign for Mono.
3 of 12 for Malcolm White. Sim with that jumper. Nante with a rebound. Morgan was not expecting the pass. Shepard taking that ball away. Shepard.
Sloppy play by both teams all around. Passing, spacing.
And Egu stepping into that 3 ball. That doesn't drop.
It's no surprise at this point in the game, could see some sloppy play, but just want both teams to continue to play hard and try to fight down the stretch.
Malcolm White. Egwu putting a hand up. Morgan on the drive. The runner, that is a tough one. That's another rebound for Mono Vampire.
Yeah, Morgan looking for the foul there, but that's a tough shot over Egwu.
White. That won't go. Another shot. No good. He's struggling tonight. 3 of 15 from Malcolm White. Egwu somehow managing to put that one in.
Good job by Egwu. The veteran never stops playing. He continues to play hard. You don't see a distressed look on his face. He just puts his head down and does his job. We like to call those guys lunch pail guys.
Ananti. Tough position. White again missing. 12-point lead for Mono Vampire. Shepard stops. And that drops for Winston Shepard.
Shepard feeling it this quarter. He's got a couple threes in this game. He's not known to be a three-point shooter, but you get a couple easy ones at the rim, and that basket starts to open up. And he gets the confidence to knock down the long one.
Moses Morgan. Lost the handle. He recovers. Gets it back from Suntun Siri. That
drops! And that's a mistake by Sim on the 2-on-1 on the perimeter there. He goes running at Sorot, and not knowing that Sorot's not a shooter. You don't lead Moses Morgan and run at a non-shooter and lead Morgan with a wide-open three. That's a defensive mistake there.
Shepard leans in for that jumper. That will do it for our first 3 periods. Mono Vampire weathering an early storm from the Dragons, and they end the period on top, 70-57. Final quarter between Mono Vampire and Westport Malaysia Dragons. Mono Vampire, of course, bound for the playoffs of ABL Season 9. And Westports Malaysia Dragons, they will miss out on the postseason this year.
Yeah, but like I said before, I think the future's bright for the Dragons. I thought they brought in the right coach, Jamie Perlman. He now understands the league. The players really like him. He's got a good system there. Once he gets more talent, I think the Dragons will be quite dangerous.
So that basket from Shepard was counted after we went into a break. So it's 70-59. We mentioned earlier it was 70-57. They go to Klahan inside. Morgan gets it back. Morgan pulling up. That is good for Moses Morgan. And I've covered a handful of games here, Coach Kevin, and usually, you know, when everything settles down here after the games, you'd see Moses Morgan coming out of that locker room and hitting additional, going to work and taking additional shots, and that, his work ethic is paying off.
Yeah, you know, I've had the pleasure of coaching Moses Morgan in my rookie season here in Thailand 3 years ago, and you know, Moses is a gym rat. You know, he there's few things he loves, and basketball is right up there. You know, he's the first guy in the gym, the last guy to leave, and he's got a basketball in his hand all the time. You know, he's always shooting, playing one-on-one, you know, playing point games against his teammates, and you know, the guy just lives to play, and he just can't get enough. And you know, it's been a tough year for Moses, but it's not where you started, it's where you are now, and he's really starting to help his team, and he's starting to peak and pick it up, and I think he'll be a big factor in the playoffs for the Mono Vampire.
Sinton City getting into the lane and laying it in. So Moses Morgan, expect him to play a big role as especially off the bench.
He's finally getting it going offensively, and this guy, you know, he can light it up. He's capable of getting 25 or 30 a game. You know, he's a really good scorer, and I think that Coach Doug Marty will use Moses Morgan to exploit mismatches. We've seen it earlier this season. We've seen Mono do a good job of taking care of going after mismatches. And Moses Morgan can create a mismatch, especially when smaller locals are guarding him. You saw right there, they put him in a post. You know, give him a chance to go to work. He gets fouled and gets a shot to get a couple easy ones at the free throw line.
Well, we know there's a couple of games left for Formosa, and also another one after this for Mono Vampire, but we're assuming that they do end up with an 8th seed, and Formosa gets the top seed, so they'll be meeting in the first round. What a matchup that would be.
Yeah.
It would be very explosive.
And you know, let's talk a little bit about that matchup, and it's a contrast of styles. Look, Dean Murray has done a sensational job turning the 1-19 Formosa Dreamers, last place team a year ago, into the first place team this year. So hats off to him and the organization for a sensational season. But you know, they are a team that executes. They get consistent play, not just from their imports, but from their local players. They've got veteran local guys. And so it's going to be the system and style and chemistry of the Formosa Dreamers versus the talent, athleticism, and the veteran leadership of Mono Vampire. And I mean, I can't make a prediction. It's going to be a heck of a series. I'm so looking forward to watching.
Absolutely, especially in, you know, actually, both teams have great fan support. Formosa gets a lot of fans in that Changhua Stadium.
They do. All the players that have been there, they say how much they enjoy playing there. Changhua Stadium, it's a big-time atmosphere. It's really loud. And the players thrive off that. And of course, you know, Mono Vampire, they've set the benchmark for basketball here in Thailand. And you know, they've got one of the finest facilities in the league. And in the playoffs, they've proven that they can pack it in here at Mono 29.
I called one game between Mono Vampire and Formosa. It was early in the season, though. That was when Formosa was coming up with that winning streak, early winning streak. They went 6-0, but that was a totally different Mono Vampire team. It had Chris Charles and Jason Brickman back then. So,
yeah, you know, all bets are off the window with that old Mono Vampire team. Team's 5-0 in the last 5 games. You know, with a commanding lead here against the Dragons and a chance to go 6-0. And you know, this is the team. I've talked to other you know, players and coaches around the league. This is the team that nobody wants to face because of their deep talent.
And they could go to the postseason with on a 7-game winning streak. Really?
They very well could. And you know, the schedule's set up for them. They're playing well. They're playing with confidence. And they already feel like they're battle tested. You know, they've been fighting for their playoff lives for the last 10 games, really.
Every game was a must-win. The past 10 games, as we take a look at this fast break again, that was a bit sloppy. Tan and Chang right there could not connect. And Graham is able to recover. Eversley.
That's poor spacing there again. You know, what I like to say is on the fast break, you know, 3-on-1s, you want to make 2-on-1s. Usually on that 3-on-1, there's one guy that either over-penetrates, the guy down the middle doesn't create, you know, provide a proper angle for his teammates. So one guy should step back and create and make that, you know, create it a 2-on-1. That's far more effective.
Moses Morgan coming alive in this fourth period.
Yeah, he's coming alive all right. Out of nowhere, 17 points for Moses Morgan.
You're going to like that if you're Coach Doug Marty. Without Mike Singletary, without Romeo Travis, but Eversley here hitting that long two to make it a 14-point game. But again, Mona Vampire playing without their 2 world imports. And Romeo Travis, he was joking with some of the coaching staff of the Dragons before the game. It's like, hey, you're not suited up, Romeo. No, not playing. Old age.
Yeah, Coach Doug Marty has mentioned before that you know, Romeo Travis is a veteran player. You know, they've gone on stretches where they've had 3 games in a week, and you know his veteran body needs that rest. And you know they're fortunate enough to be able to clinch that playoff spot. You know, they're not fighting for playoff seeding like other teams. So Coach Doug Marty has the luxury to be able to rest some of his guys.
A drop pass to White, the bang and the bucket. But he's been busy, Romeo Travis, cheering on his teammates on the pitch.
We don't want him to jump up, you know, too fast and too much in a hurry and, you know, get an injury from a cold hamstring there.
But, you know, we've seen Romeo Travis. He's been all over the world. And, you know, most recently he was in the Philippines and he led his team to the championship, in the season-ending championship last year. Played through pain.
You know, a lot of people have asked me about Romeo Travis. I'm a big fan of Romeo Travis. When I looked at this team, I mentioned this earlier, when I looked at this Mono Vampire team early in the season, they were missing a guy that does the little things to help them win. And that's exactly what Travis does. He rebounds, he sets screens, he's in good defensive position, he makes the extra pass. And when you have a team of scorers with Tyler Lamb, Moses Morgan, Mike Singletary, that's exactly what the Mono Vampire needed. They needed a veteran like Romeo Travis to bring it all together for them, and that's why they're able to make this playoff.
Well, he sort of put everything together. Romeo Travis was the missing piece to that puzzle. And Mono Vampire right now showing us that they're ready for the postseason. Second series. Scoring earlier as Mono Vampire has upped this lead to 19. 4.5 minutes remaining here in this ballgame. Winston Shepard with 17.6 rebounds and 6 assists for the Dragons. Eversley on the drive. Egwu could not handle the pass. Taken away by Morgan. Mono Vampire still have one game left in their schedule. Malaysia has one game as well. They play Formosa this weekend. Mono finishes their regular season against Singapore on Sunday.
That's right. They play the Singapore Slingers, and it won't be much of a game for Mono. They've got not much to play for, but the Slingers fighting for that number 3 spot, and you know, so you'll expect them to come out and play. But anytime you get Mono and the Slingers playing against each other, you know, it's always going to be a hard-fought game.
Absolutely, two of the most very successful team as well, Singapore Slingers.
Yeah, they've had a nice year. You know, we've talked about this in different circles here in the ABL about the Singapore Slingers. You know, when the new rules came out about heritage players being counted as locals this year, in essence eliminating the ASEAN rule. Now the first reaction was teams like the Dragons and the Slingers would be affected by this because of the Chinese players and the Philippine players, the Vietnamese players, etc., having a lot of overseas heritage players. But the Slingers have had this model for years.
Yep, absolutely.
So instead of having one ASEAN, because they've never had, you know, they've avoided having the second and 2 imports, they now replace an ASEAN with a 3rd import.
That is true.
They really upgraded their team by their standards.
But they've flown under the radar really for most of the season. And a lot of talk was on Formosa's rise, and of course Alab's surge as well as another outside bomb from Moses Morgan.
He's really feeling it in the second half, and you know, like I said, Moses Morgan is a dangerous player. His ability to score, and he'll have mismatches. Anytime he's in the game, he's going to get a local player on him and a smaller player. And so he continues to play with this kind of confidence. He can be very valuable for Mono Vampire come playoff time.
Into Siri whistle for the personal. You have a timeout as Mono Vampire tries to close out this victory against the Dragons. Shepard with 17 points. Malcolm White with 11 points, and he struggled in this ball game. No problem for Mono Vampire because Moses Morgan and Tyler Lamb have found their range here in this ball game. Egg group for 3. That is good.
Yeah, you gotta love that. You know, this is again Jamie Perlman. This is why he's a player's coach. Out of the timeout, he runs Nana Egwu, his 5-man, off a flare screen and gets him a wide open 3. You know, you want to earn the love and respect of your players. That's the kind of stuff you do as a coach. You know, he knows his team is probably going to lose this game. They're not going to make the playoffs. Well, that's one way to, you know, get support from your players is to, you know, run stuff like that. So nice play out of the timeout.
Shepard on the move. Stops at the free throw line, misses, gets his own miss, and puts it in. Plus the foul.
Yeah, the Mono Vampire, they've got a small lineup in there now. And Dragons got Egwu, Eversley, and Shepard into the game. So But Eversey will come out of the game now. They should be able to control the rim against this lineup.
Bangla will be whistled for that one. Cold off the bench.
Yeah, Bang Lao is a nice young player. He's really athletic. He's had some good minutes last year's ABL in the TBSL, but in this deep Mono Vampire team, he hasn't been able to get much of rhythm this season in the ABL 9.
Shepard could not complete the three-point play. He's stuck at 19 points.
Yeah, so in the offseason for Egwu, if he were asking me for advice on how to prove his game, I'd tell him, shoot 500 to 1,000 threes a game and try to develop a different free throw technique.
A day.
I mean, why stop there? Shoot 2,000.
Oh, what a shot there from Moses Morgan. And talk about getting a rhythm. He missed his first two shots, and then all of a sudden he's exploded for 22 points here.
He tells Tyler Lamb, I'm coming after you for the scoring leader in this game.
Yek started this ball game. Gets away, and another good play there from Yek.
Yeah, nice move. No help on the weak side, no rotation. Yek's able to get to the rim and get the easy left-handed layup.
Morgan will take the three ball off to the right for Moses Morgan.
One thing we haven't talked about this game is it's been a very well officiated game.
Yep.
I like to talk about the officiating every now and then, but I like to do
when we don't talk about it, it means it's well officiated.
I like to talk about it in a fun-spirited manner, right? Like not in a hostile manner, but we haven't mentioned the officials one time today, so I know it's really easy to get on the officials, but they've done a great job today here. So
it also helps that there's not a lot of bearing in this ball game.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Not a lot of pressure on both teams. Of course, Mono Vampire taking that thrill out of it because of that win over the weekend. Tansiri, kick out. Klahan will try his luck. That's good! Everyone, it's just rubbing off on everyone. Coach Kevin.
Coach Klahan here. Chantachon Klahan, the veteran guy knocking down threes. He's normally points in the paint, but he says, why not? I want to join that three-point party.
Again, they turn the ball over. And that time, that is unforced. Really, just caught in two minds there.
Yeah, but, I like the move by the Dragons finishing out the game here with 5 local players on the floor. The imports have worked really hard this year to try to carry the team, but let the local players finish it out.
Mono Vampire, this impending win takes them to 11-14. Moses Morgan airballs the three. And that will do it. Mono Vampire victorious in their last game at home. In the regular season. They will be back here in Stadium 29 for the playoffs. Coach Doug Marty and his crew with a solid performance against the Westports Malaysia Dragons. They win it by 19 points, 98-79. Tyler Lamb with a big first half. He had 20 points in that first half. And he was on track of breaking that record, but suddenly went cold in the second half. You may have jinxed him, Coach Kevin.
Yeah, I think that was your fault there, partner. You're the one who was talking records. But I won't tell Tyler Lamb that. But, yeah, we were – and all kidding aside, it was me who brought up the record, and maybe I jinxed him. But all 3 of those guys, Tyler Lamb, Freddie Lish, and Moses Morgan, had big games for Mono Vampire. And this is the kind of game. You know what you're going to get out of Mike Singletary. Romeo Travis is very consistent. Malcolm White has been a double-double machine this year, and those 3 guys getting going, and they really could be valuable heading come playoff time.
Well, Malcolm White struggled a bit, but he also did his share. 11 points for the World Import. He missed his 2 buddies, Mike Singletary and Romeo Travis. They were rested by Coach Doug Marty. But nonetheless, Mono Vampire getting the job done. They collect their 11th win of the season. They close out their regular season schedule against the Singapore Stingers. Malaysia faces Formosa to close out their season as well on March the 24th. That will do it for us here at Stadium 29. For my partner, Coach Kevin Yurkis, this is Sadaf Tupas saying thank you for watching the ABL Season 9 Rise to Greatness.